Hello, One Book, One Norristown. My name is Judith Eckles, and I'm a West Norton Commissioner. Please be advised this chapter contains the N-word. I look forward to reading the second half of Chapter 6. Downstairs, Della gave up with a snort. She looked at Mercer. I wish I had a nickel for every time that heifer sits up there and don't answer me. Then she stood in the middle of the floor with her arms open. Come on. The Quicks linked arms. Mercer and her children joined the circle. Cary put his arm around her waist. Having just taken his wife, he felt no less lustful. Mercer's shoulder was broad and solid against him. Lord God, Della said, you know these are wicked times. It pleased you to bring us this far by faith. It pleased you to wake us up in the morning, Lord, and in our right minds. Be with the men in jail for doing your will. Be with them. Be with us. Be with this woman who hath brought you to freedom with our midst. We thank you for Mercer and for these children who are free. God bless us and keep us while we are absent one from another. It was dark enough to leave. Cary would drive them. For half an hour they hugged and wished farewells, until Zilpha stood by the door and ordered Cary and Mercer to come with her. The remaining family and Mercer's children shuffled into the kitchen. They did not bother to set the table for supper. Instead, they ate with their fingers from bowls lined with old linens. Zilpha and Cary and Mercer, they knew, would soon be eating the same supper out of the basket that Della had packed for them and nagged Cary not to forget. Boiled eggs and biscuits folded over Zilpha's spiced peach preserves or honey, or filled with shin meat, bacon, and cheese. Blanche, nobody's going to bring your supper tonight. Della poured a glass of sherry for her and Manny, as if this were a holiday or a funeral. She winked at Manny. I just don't want her to think I'm forget so easy. Then she yelled, You hear me, Blanche? Blanche heard, but she wasn't hungry. She lay back on Jesus, lay right back on his chest. He held her in sinewy, olive-skinned arms that smelled of hot sand and sun, and he kissed her with lips that tasted of wine. Then she saw herself sitting at the well, and she heard the singing. Jesus met the woman at the well. Jesus met the woman at the well. Jesus met the woman at the well, and he told her everything she had done. He said, Woman, woman, where is your husband? Woman, woman, where is your husband? He said, Woman, woman, where is your husband? And she told him, Lord, I have none. The voice moved up and down her spine, and Jesus looked into her eyes as the voice moved. He looked into her dark and dirty hiding places until he found her naked, cringing soul. Then she was in church. She went running, running, all through the city. She went running, running, all through the city. She lay on the floor by the altar, her face to the floor. The floor was cold, and she lay on it until the cold worked into her skin. She waited for a simple lash to give her stripes and pain, but he knew her too well. The lash was too easy. A force like a hurricane blew her body back, ripping her hands off the altar and casting her, spinning toward the darkness, down to where she deserved to fall, toward chaos and confusion and death. Jesus caught her. He caught her before the darkness swallowed her up and held her in his arms that smelled of fresh sweat and sun and did not let her fall. From far away she heard herself crying.